What does that sound, you ask?
From the number one station, you come.
Welcome to the Rec Show podcast, a show dedicated to beatmakers around the world. Kick back, relax with the host, Golden Mind.
Check. All right. Yo, peace and love. What's going on, everybody? I go by the name of David Golden Mind Hicks, and welcome to another episode of the Rec Show podcast. Man, this is episode number 68. So I hope everybody's counting their blessings and not their problems, man. Hope everybody had a good weekend and is enjoying their weekend. Man, last week we had the OG DiBiase on the show, man. That was an amazing interview, and just so many jewels dropped, man. And today is no different. So we are going, our guest is from the Third Coast, Houston, Texas, currently residing in Austin, Texas. He's a beat maker who makes some dope chill hop bumps with mellow sounds and laid back drums. But to me, man, this is all his music is a vibe, man. You just press play and just lay back and chill, man. Stargaze, sun gaze, all that type of stuff, man. So, you know what I mean? He's not a one-trick pony either, man. So Tawnbei is also a character designer, but also a Tribe of No Signs founder and a Chill Select contributor. So everybody, I want y'all to welcome Tawnbei to the show. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, man? Appreciate you for having me on.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, man. So, man, how I like to do it every time is always ask the guest to just go ahead, introduce yourself, for the beat heads and the internets that might not know you. Go ahead, introduce yourself, where you're from, what your name means, and how your name was created, and then how long you've been making beats, but also name any associated collectives that you might be a part of as well.
All right. What's up, everybody? My name is Tawnbei. It's my real name. I just spell my name differently because I couldn't come up with any cool name. It feels like all the names been taken, so I just use my name. Started making beats July 2018, so about like 4 years ago. Just like heard that chill hop sound and I just wanted to see if I could make it, and it started off as a challenge, and then like here I am. I'm from Houston, Texas. Not a lot of beat makers that I knew was from Houston, but online during like SoundCloud time, when SoundCloud was popping back in those days, like 2018, 2019, I joined up with a collective, which is Chill Select. It's a collective and a label. So Chill Select is just a big group of beat makers from all around the world, and we just make music together, and we release compilation albums and so on. I do have a collective that I founded in 2019 called A Tribe of No Signs, and it's just me and some of these homies that I have that make cool beats. We from all over the place. Haven't made anything recently, but never know it's gonna come out soon.
Yeah, so I mean, you only been making beats for a little while, but it feels like you've been making beats for like 10 years, just the way that your sound comes across and just the emotion inside of your music, man. It's like, yo, and then the art. That's another. I'll ask that later on, man. There's, just the music with the art, with the title names. Yo, man, like some amazing stuff. Like the roster for A Tribe of No Signs is some crazy beat makers as well, man. Like Apak Beats, Garbler Music, like Oni Gurisu, Hip Hopkins. Like, yo, like how did you even meet all of these amazing beat makers, and what made you like come together and form your own collective?
Yo, actually, all of those people I met on SoundCloud, and some of them I met during, like, in Chill Select when everything first started, because at the time Chill Select was really growing. It was like around 50 to 100 beat makers, and we were all like in a Discord server. So everything was like all tight knit, and it was like, you would catch everyone's releases and like you could talk to everyone. Like now I don't even know how many people are in the server. Servers move too fast. But I initially just reached out to those people all like one by one, like over the span of a year or so. I'm just hearing like this dude's beat, and I'm like, yo, would you want to be a part of a collective? You want to work on a tape or something? And then eventually we all got together and started making beats, and we're all cool to this day. Man, that's, amazing, man. Just, I mean, like a lot of my guests, they still on SoundCloud, and they populated with their newest stuff as well, man. So let me ask you this though. Let me ask you, how did you begin your like music journey into creating like your style of music? Because I can't even put nobody in the box. Like I wouldn't even want to attempt to put somebody in a box. But how did you begin your journey? And then are you trained on any like instruments currently? No, not trained on any instruments. Just improvising sometimes. Whenever like I make beats from scratch, I'll hop on the keys. Not like a professional or anything, but I started on this journey. So around February 2018, I'm trying to like clean out the music I'm listening to. So I'm looking for some boom bap, but I wanted some like chill boom bap beats, kind of like, Tribe Called Quest music. So I was listening to like a lot of those type of sounds, and I come across dudes like Dilla, like Pete Rock, and so on. And like I'm listening to this, and I'm like, yo, this is what I've been looking for. This is what I want. And then I found this live stream with something called Chill Hop, and I'm like, yo, what's Chill Hop? So then I listened to it, and like on the live stream, I think one of the first things I heard was like a flip. It was like a remix of like Biggie, and I was just like, yo, this beat is like, it's tight. Like, let me keep on listening to this. And then, I just kept on listening daily. And then next thing you know, 6 months later or so, like around July, I was like, let me attempt to make a beat. And when I first, fired up FL, I was making a beat, following tutorials and stuff. I wasn't too satisfied with the beats. Like, they sounded bad, but they weren't my style. It's like, I'm following a tutorial. So it wasn't until like I stopped looking at tutorials and kind of just doing whatever, trial and error, chopping samples different ways, trying different drums, and trying to see what sticks and what am I trying to make. And then eventually I landed somewhere where it's like, I really like laid back beats. So something simple, something with a simple drum loop and like a sound that you can like listen to over and over. And whenever I make beats, I always like just think of easy listening. That's my motto. So every beat that I release, I think like if you can listen to that over and over, then it's a decent beat.
That's a good guy. Yo, that's a good dope concept, man. Like, yo, I know a lot of my guests, they start with, you know, their name, like they're superheroes, and I'm kind of skipping questions right now, but I'm just speculating. Like they start with, they came into like a Tribe Called Quest vibes, or DJ Premier, or Jay Dilla, or anybody in that realm, and they be like, yo, this is like, I think they get caught on the feeling. I know I got caught on the feeling of the music. Are you trying to make your music feel that same way, but in your own way, as far as when somebody listens to your music and have them just feel like, man, I feel good when I listen to this?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever someone listens to my music, I want them to feel happy, because that's how I make my beats. Like every time I'm making my beats, it's just a smile on my face. And if I'm not smiling on the beat, then that beat ain't good.
Okay. Yeah, see? Man. Gotta put the emotions in it. So, man. Okay, so no, you're not trained on anything. It's all by ear, it's all by feeling. Can you recall what family members or friends, like, you know, exposed you to like the world of like music, but then also, you know, kind of led you to make beats? That's a difficult question, because my brother, he used to play the sax, but I never really paid too much attention to it. I never paid too much attention to jazz. Everything kind of caught on late. So like around 2018, it was like my last year in college, and that's when it all started to like come together. Like, yo, you know, jazz is actually cool. Like, you know, soul music is actually cool. But a majority of it was all just self-discovery, and it started with just searching up samples, and then next thing you know, you searching up samples, you end up listening to full albums of the artist. Do you remember like when you searched, like who you got stuck on, like the name of the artist or the record label that you got stuck on that you listened to the most?
Like the jazz and stuff?
Yeah.
Bill Evans, for sure. I think it's like the second I heard like that piano, I was like, oh, like what is this? So some Bill Evans, some Chet Baker, some Miles Davis, Charlie Parker, you know, McCoy Tyner, stuff like that.
The legends. Okay. All right. Yeah. See, yo, and you just went down a rabbit hole from there. I'm just like, when you say jazz is cool, I don't think nobody has ever said that, because everybody was trying to, you know, kind of like make trap beats and stuff like that, like nowadays. But we still have the people that make the, you know, electronic music, the boom bap, the laid back chill hop, like all the other subgenres that they want to name. But all right, yo, man, I'll be learning. I'm a student just like anybody else that will be listening to the show, because I'm learning like about you. You know what I mean? So, yo, everybody, y'all still tapped in with Tawnbei. Yo, man, episode number 68. So your brother was a jazz, played jazz. You didn't pay attention, but he still was putting you on, even though you weren't like giving it your full attention. Do you think that impacts how you make music now?
Maybe a little bit, you know, just having that little, you know, sound in the background, just like remembering all the times, you know, practicing, and like, you know, sometimes he'll play and I'll be like, yo, this sounds really good, you know, and I'm wondering like, what is that? And he'll show me like what song he's playing and stuff like that, and I would recognize the song like as good, but I was the late bloomer, like it didn't catch on till later.
Hey, some of the greatest minds are late bloomers, man. So yo, don't even worry about it. Yo, you got time, man. So okay, if you're able to, right, can you name one song or one beat, or maybe two songs and two beats, as your greatest beat of all time?
Yeah, actually, I got two.
Okay.
Number one, I would say is Premier, The Question Remains.
That's a good
and
one.
That every time when I hear that beat just slaps, and it just never gets old. That's like truly timeless. And the second one would be Pete Rock, The World Is Yours. And that one, that's like more up my alley, laid back, simple. You got a good groove going. So those two beats.
Man, every time you can play right now, you can listen to either one of those, but especially the Pete Rock, like you can play the song in your head right now, like dun, 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 dun. Like I don't even know how to play piano, but it make you want to like hand motion the piano keys like you know what you're doing, yo. It's crazy, man. Feelings, yo. Okay. Can you like, I always ask this because everybody is on their journey, right? So in their journey in, you know, self-discovery, they're trying to figure out their own sound in music, and, you know, they're always searching for different things to kind of like, you know, get them inspired or open up their world in music. But, can you recommend some like must watch, some must read, or listen to content from the listeners? It could be like a movie, a documentary, a book, a YouTube tutorial, a podcast, like anything, man.
I'm pretty sure a lot of beat makers already watched the sampling documentary.
Okay, yeah.
But that one's a good one if people want to get into like the history of sampling and all that, and like the controversy that it was at that time. But I would say there's a Pete Rock video where he talks about his beat making process, and he says that, you know, basically that simplicity is key. He's like, you know, people like simple things. People like the beats being simple. Like if there's too much noise and there's like a lot going on, like they can't really catch that. So that's kind of like his method into making beats, and that's my method as well.
Nice. Okay. So not DJ Premier, Pete Rock video, and then also the sampling documentary. I think I've watched that sampling documentary like 5 times, man, like 5 or 6 times. But every time you grab something new from it every single time, because it was a crazy time back then. But I feel like in our time right now, the people that were making the music, they're kind of like loosening up because they understand everything can be a sample. So why not lend that to the creatives and have them flip it, and then your music still lives on for some more generations, you know what I mean? Instead of just
Right.
Put on a record and dying. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good thing. I never looked at sampling as like you're stealing from the artist, and like instead I see it like you're paying homage to the artist. You're like, you had to have fallen in love with that sound to want to create a new sound with that sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Okay, yeah. So, who said this, man? I think it was Knife Wonder. I was watching a documentary about Knife Wonder, and then he said he mailed a letter to some like creative that created a record, sent them a letter, pretty much like broke down everything that he was trying to do, and he gave them like the artist gave Knife Wonder like their whole discography, and was like, hey, sure, here, you can use these records and stuff like that, which I know like he's big time, so they're gonna get paid either way. But you know what I mean? But for your average like Beethoven or Beatmaker in the room, or maybe just making beats on their phone and stuff like that, they're using what they have. Like that's like you said, paying homage to those that created some amazing music. The inspiration can come from anywhere, any genre, and if you flip it to make it into something that people like I think that speaks volumes of whoever created that original music in the first place, yo.
Yo, this is Tombey, and you're plugged into the Rec Show podcast with Golden Mind. Keep your head up.
Let's get into from your social media, and for everybody, go ahead and follow, and I'll put all of the links to Tawnbei's social media, webpage, and everything like that in the link in the description of the show. But from your social media, you can be seen using like FL Studio, Native Instruments Machine, MK3, Serato Sampler. Can you feel it? I think I saw like a Roland SP404 to create your music. Why do you think these musical gear, musical equipment, or DAWs, kind of like help you create your music? And does each piece of music help you or have their place in creating music?
Yes, definitely. So you start off with FL. FL is the DAW that I used, simply because it was just, I guess, the most user friendly. Like, as soon as I started like really getting into learning FL, never really looked back. The machine, so I used the machine as a VST inside FL Studio. And I like the machine and the pads, and like the way you can just go between groups. So like I would be making a sample, and then like I could just hit a button and there I am in my drum section. Then I'm making the drums and I just keep going back and forth. And I'm playing the beats in Machine and I'm routing all the sounds to FL Studio. So FL Studio is where I do the song arrangement and the mixing.
Okay.
And then I have that sound going into my SP. And then the SP is where I would record the effects. And then I have that going back into FL. And then I can record everything in one go. It might be like a little complicated without being able to see it.
Nah, that makes sense. Cause I'm pretty sure like every single one of us has our brains, right? Which for me it's Machine, but I always wanted to learn like a different DAW anyway. Everybody says FL is like maybe one of the easiest to learn, but Ableton is like rocket science to me. Like I can't wrap my head around it. Like it's crazy, man. So
hey man, same.
So like was FL Studio just something that you just be like, yo, like I get every single thing about this, I can do everything inside of this? Are you going to stay with FL or do you like want to learn a new DAW?
Well, I think a big part of it is like Ableton, like the user interface was just too busy for me. Like I didn't even know where to start. So FL was like a little cleaner. And as far as like knowing everything in FL, I wouldn't say I do. I just know what like I need to use, like whether it's automation clips or the mixer, or arranging things on the playlist, piano rolls. It's like all very straightforward things.
Okay, and the SP, like SP has been, man, like I don't know if SPs can get any more famous for the effects that they do, and just the sound, the grittiness, the everything that comes with an SP. Like what's the SP mean to your production, yo?
I see the SP as like the final step. So you got your beats, you got it all arranged, and then you go to the SP to put like final touch on it, which would be the effects and stuff. But I recently just got that Mark II, actually a couple of days ago.
Oh, word! Congrats!
Appreciate it. I've been waiting an entire year for that. It was out of stock, and it just came back in stock recently. And what I wanted, like when I initially got the SP, I wanted to make beats dollars. Like I didn't want to use a computer to make beats because, I already draw, so I don't want to be on the computer all day. But I just was able to find a way to have the SP route back into the computer, and the original SP wasn't as good as making beats standalone. But the new one, like I just probably spent an hour total on it so far, and it already feels like like the studio in a box. Like I could see myself making full beats on it.
Wow. So you think Roland did an amazing job with this Mark II?
Absolutely, especially with the bus effects and being able to like load your drum kits. Like you can have your drum kits in the SP, you can have your samples in there and different projects saved, so like you have everything right there. That's one of the reasons I wanted an MPC initially, like one of those old school MPCs, MPC 1000 or MPC 2000, but they were just a little old, man. I didn't know. I didn't know if like, you know, the response time and all that. Yeah, I didn't know if I had the patience for that.
Right.
So I'm gonna see how this Mark II works.
Man, just from the feedback that, you know, I get from like my guests and the people that be on, you know, social media, they like, yo, this is a definitely like a level up game changer type of device. So I'm still trying to figure out mine. I just got mine too, so I'm trying to figure out, like, I never used one before, so I'm trying to, like, I'm on that down the rabbit hole of YouTube tutorials and all that type of stuff with the Mark II. So Roland, if you ever listen to this show, man, you did an amazing job with the SP44 Mark II, man. So okay, like you said, man, you're a drawer, right? So you're no one trick pony, and none of my guests are. But you're more than a beat maker. Like, you're a 2D animator and a character designer. Like, how did you get into animation and character designing?
Animation, that's what I always wanted to do. So, like, ever since I was a kid, you know, that's been my goal, to be an animator and work on cartoon shows and whatnot. So that's what I went to school for and studied and stuff like that. And music is just like, I just happened to try it out one time, and I didn't know I was gonna end up making beats, but
oh wow,
yeah, here I am.
That's two different worlds to me. Or are they two different worlds to you, or are they kind of one and the same?
Nah, they're definitely two different worlds, two different types of people that you associate with. But I mean, I see it as like I'm one person, you know. I'm an artist, I'm a beat maker. So it's all me. Okay. But definitely it's like, it's just a little different.
Are you into the, you know, the metaverse, and are you into that type of world yet, or are you just simply just animation, drawing? Because I see your cover art for your projects. They speak volumes before you even press play. Like, man, how do you even go about doing the cover art for your projects?
Well, appreciate that. So my cover arts, usually it's two ways. Either I make the cover before I make the music, or, you know, I make the music and then make the cover. And usually my process, like, you have a theme that you set. The theme could be, you know, like a picture, or it could be a word, a short description. Like my last album, Odyssey, yeah, that one, I was just thinking about, like, you know, a journey, like you just walking through nature and stuff like that. And that's what those sounds were sounding like to me. And then I just pieced together the cover. And most of the time, the cover arts I do are like collage art, because that gives it that lo-fi feel. And then sometimes I'll just draw it, you know, if need be. I've been doing like cover arts off and on. Like, I do some cover arts for Chill Select, the Fam compilations, episode 1, episode 2, the Beats for Days 2, Moonlight Jazz, and a whole bunch of others that I done lost track of.
Wow. Yeah. So I'm looking at your album covers. There's a common theme to every single one of them, besides like the theme of the music or the feeling, but it feels like you're like you have a like Japanese style, Japanese culture. Like, is that a fair assessment to say? Like, do you like is it anime or is it just Japanese culture or Asian culture that's like speaks to you?
It's kind of hard to say because there's definitely a lot of just traditional Japanese art that I like, and I am an anime fan, so just both of those things just happen to line up. But I would say I would lean more towards just the artwork. I like how the compositions are. I like how it's like usually it's simple and like with a clear focus, like either it's a person or a landscape. So I guess those would kind of be like my inspirations for how I do my cover art.
Nice, man. Simple with a clear focus, man. That's you dropping crazy jewels right now, cause like it's like I always try and like do my cover art to where it's not too much going on either, but I'm not a artist or anything like that, but what I feel like the album is supposed to represent, I feel like I put it into the cover art. So man, you do an amazing job with your cover art, man. It speaks volumes, man. I might have to hire you, man, for real.
I appreciate it.
So let me I think you've done, man, like 7 projects. I think you got 7 projects on Spotify. You got more music on SoundClouds and all the the other DSPs and stuff like that. But I wanted to shed light on the 2 newest joints, which are Odyssey, and then you got a joint project with Strong Maurice and Chill Select called Tomorrow. Can you tell like the listeners and just go over like how these projects came together, because they're amazing pieces of work, man?
Yeah, for sure. The Tomorrow one, that one's actually a little crazy because that I started an album around December last year, so December 2021, and I was having a whole bunch of jazz samples and I was chopping and flipping, and I was almost complete with the album, and like I'm just sitting here like this time I didn't feel it. Like I liked the samples, the drums were okay, but to me I felt like I needed that like a little bit more energy. I needed the drums needed to be different. I needed like a different direction than what I was going in. So I hit up Strong Maurice like randomly. I was just like, yo, what's up? I like your beats, I like your drums. Would you be down to do a collab? And then like he hit me back instantly. It was like, yo, what's up? Sure. And he sent me a folder. Dude had like 30 drums in that folder.
Wow.
And I'm just thinking like, yo, how does he just have all this ready? And I looked down his page and he was making a beat every day. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess so. And then, I was just picking drums out. And then I was like, I heard some drums that were crazy, and then it made me change the way I was chopping my samples. So then it was like a whole entirely different project, entirely different album. And then I sent him 6 beats. And after he heard that, he was like, yo, this is fire. And then he started just making a whole bunch of more drums, and we were going from there, just back and forth. We probably ended up making like about 25 beats, but we cut it down to about 15 because we wanted to make sure like every single beat on that project was fire.
Which it is 15 tracks, man. We gotta eventually hear the last 10 tracks from that, man.
Nah, I don't know. If we do, we gotta make another one. We gotta make another project. Man. It's one of those, you get that feeling like when you make a beat and it's all right, and then you come like a week later and you're hearing it again and you're thinking it's all right, but I couldn't put that all right beat next to a fire beat in the same project. Like, to me, I'm like, there's no way. I got 15 beats sound really, really good. Like, why put an extra 10 that's just okay? I know that's kind of like there's some artists that like I go back and forth on. Some of my homies are like, you know, just release everything. You never know who likes what. But I always think about it like, if I can't listen to it over and over again, then like I doubt that somebody else will. So every beat that I put up on Spotify, like that's a beat that I like, that I'll listen to over and over again.
The dope way to think about it, keep it about the art, and then ultimately the listener. Like, that makes perfect freaking sense, man. Like, if you wouldn't put a alright beat next to a fire beat, like, don't even do it, man. So keep it. If it's you got 10 tracks and you got 5 alright beats, then I guess you got an EP, because it's gonna be 5 tracks. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense, right? Man. That makes perfect sense, yo. Like, man. All right, yo, man. yo, y'all here with Tawnbei, man. Episode number 68 of the Rec Show podcast, man. Yo, man. You've been dropping jewels already, man. I know whoever listens to this, man, is going to get, kind of like, it's just a snippet of you as the artist. But I want them to really feel like, you know what I mean? Like you got a voice, like you speak through your music, you speak through your art, but a lot of people don't know the backstory behind the Beatmakers and the artists a lot of the time. So like right now we're about to go in a little bit of the history of you, but the 4 pillars of hip hop are like DJing, MCing, breaking, and graphing, right? Which element did you begin your journey with, And then, how did it affect your life when you discovered that element?
Probably, it's funny. Like probably I would say rapping, because like in high school, me and a group of friends, we used to just freestyle to beats all the time. And, that definitely got me like more into hip hop and stuff like that. But, like I said, after a while, it was like cool, you're freestyling, you're listening to music. But then, like, the music I was listening to was just the regular music, the mainstream music. It wasn't like selected, like something that I truly enjoyed is something that was like put in front of me. So I had to go and like find that sound that I want.
I got you. Do you remember one of your rhymes that you were spitting?
Absolutely not. That's because like we barely wrote anything down. It was like the challenge was to come off the top.
Oh, like a cipher. Okay. Yeah. Straight off the dome, Okay. Yeah, the MCing. So, man, I gotta ask this question. Like, given some thought, can you name your who you grew up with, like childhood Beatmaker superheroes, and then where you are today, like your adult Beatmaker superheroes, and why they were so like important in your life? Oh yeah, and major key, man. No genres off limits either, yo.
Major beat makers. I really think that it was like DJ Premier that like set everything off.
DJ Premier.
Like, Illmatic, and like I'm listening to those beats and I'm just like, like, what is this like East Coast style? And then you go on to discography and you start like finding all types of stuff, and then like the RZA for sure. I used to love all those Wu-Tang beats, and it was just like all different. And like I said, like it wasn't until later where I started like going down that rabbit hole, start listening to everybody. Whether it's like Doom or a whole bunch of 90s trappers, a little bit of the Far Side, Digital Planets, that Pete Rock and I joint. But I think DJ Premier definitely would set it off. Like when I was hearing almost everything that he produced, I was like, yo, this is it. Like I found it.
Gave you that feeling. Yeah. So like those are like the mainstream, producers or acts. And like, what about right now? Like who are your beat maker superheroes, like the people that you look up to as far as when you creating beats, or
like peer wise? Definitely I would say somebody like Ginseng. Yeah, Ginseng is a legend for real.
Okay.
Somebody like Ginseng, somebody like Flo Fills. I don't know if you heard this flip he did. This Once Again flip. You can search it up on YouTube. And when I heard that, I was like, whoa. And that's my first time like really hearing like jazz hop, because a lot of people was making lo-fi beats that that wasn't like jazz heavy. Mm-hmm. So when I was hearing that, it was like wow, this jazzy type sound really blew my mind, and that's like something I wanted to do. Then I got a homie in my collective, which I swear like he was making fire beats from jump. He changed his name like about 7 times. he probably changed his name again. But his name Tawnbei or J Lover. I probably could give you a link to his SoundCloud.
Okay.
But yeah, him just straight fire. He's been making fire beats off and on. He's busy with whatever job he got, but you know, every like chance that he gets, and those beats always hit.
Yeah, we gotta check them out, man. So, yo, I'm gonna definitely like once we, you know, I'll get the links from Tawnbei, and then I'll put it in the links in the description, as I always do, because I always put you know, what we discuss in you know, during the episode and stuff like that. But man, all good recommendations. Okay, like I gotta ask you about this. Like your track titles, always like positive titles. They're like chill, and the music bumps. Like is like Simplicity and then Bumps Volume 1. Like what's the story behind those two albums, yeah? Because I think Bumps is your first album, right? Bumps Volume 1.
No, it's not. It's not the first. It's just the earliest one on Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah, but Bumps Volume 1. So that's just a collection of earlier beats I made. I think around 2019 ish. And then I kind of remastered them a little bit and just put it up there on Spotify. Like I put it up after the fact, so it's like the album says 2019, but I probably uploaded it like last year.
Okay.
So yeah, so the bumps are just like whatever I'm making at that time, because it might be just me, but I'm the type of person, like it's hard to make a single. Like it's easier for me to make an album than a single.
I wonder why. Why do you think that is? Because like everybody's doing the single thing now. Like they're not even putting albums together. Well, like why do you think it's easier for you to make an album versus put out singles?
I think it's just a direction. You know, like I like to have a theme and like a direction I'm going. Cause like if I'm just like mindlessly like just making beats like here and there, those beats don't ever turn out good to me. It's the beats that like I really put in thought to, and I carefully handpick the samples, and I'm trying to get sounds that go well together. So that's just, I don't know, man. It might just be me, but that's how I work.
Right. It's not just you. I think it's a lot of people that would rather put, you know, either, you know, like 3, 4, 5 songs together or 4 projects together, compared to just putting out the single. So it might not just be you, but I did like every single one of your like track titles is like for example, in Simplicity, like A Bed of Roses, like Ambition, you know, Blessings, like Peace of Mind. Like every single one of your tracks is like positive. Like how, like what, like how important is like being positive and putting positivity in your music? How important is that to you? Because it seems super important, man, and it shows. And then you can, when a person listens to your albums, like they can feel it as well.
So I'm a backtrack a little bit. So Simplicity was like, when I was making Simplicity, that was the time where I thought I couldn't make jazz hop because I'd be sampling jazz and then it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. But, you know, through trial and error, I just like, I was changing the way that I was chopping, changing the way I was like, what points that I would start and end at. And then all of a sudden, like everything opened up and like it all started making sense. So when making simplicity or coming up with those track titles, that's what I'm thinking of when I make the beat. So that the song, like, you know, Thank You Always, is like, when I hear that sound, that's my immediate thought. And I think, you know, in general, I'm a happy and positive person, like, all the time. So, like, that's reflected in my music. I don't make any sad beats. I don't make any angry or aggressive beats, because I'm just a happy person. So happy person makes happy music.
Right. That's dope, man. That's dope, man. Yo, you can definitely tell in your just the album covers, like I said before, the track titles, and then when you listen to the music, man, it's just, yo, you just, like, if you having, listeners, man, if you're not having a good day, go ahead and go to your DSP or however you listening to it, look up, search up Tawnbei, and then put on an album and just kick back, man. Just, I guarantee you're gonna feel better after you listen to it, man. Even after one song, man. I'm not even gassing you, like, for real. Like, they feel good, man. Like, no gas, yo. Straight up.
Appreciate it, man. That's the hope. Like, when I make the music, like, I want people to feel happy.
Yeah, man. Yo, so, like, we already said, like, you were Third Coast representative, but you're currently based out of Austin, Texas. So, like, what's the beat scene like in? Well, you said Houston, it wasn't really anybody, but now you're in Austin. So, like, what's the two worlds look like for you right now, as far as the Beatmaker scene and stuff like that?
I would say it's almost the same, just because I haven't been searching too much for that. Like, there's definitely a couple people here. There's a Beatmaker close by, actually, like 10 minutes away from me. But I haven't been, like, you know, on social media constantly. Just kind of go with the flow and just make music. But I am definitely, like, looking to, like, collab and stuff, and maybe do some live sets somewhere. That is something, like, I want to do eventually.
Yeah. Have you ever done a live set before?
Nah. Just, like, you know, like, performing in front of friends and stuff, but not, like, at a venue or anything.
Okay. Yeah, future goals. Y'all hear this, yo. So anybody that's in the Austin area, if you're listening to this, man, I know Sumo Wave was a guest on the show before. He's in Austin. Man, there's like a couple other of my guys that been on the show before. They in Austin, but they always do shows. Oh man, I can't remember the name of the place. It starts with a P, but I can't remember. It's like a bar. I don't know. It'll come to me later. But okay, so how do you support the beat culture? Like, I've never asked this question before, but how would you prefer, you know, listeners or people that just want to support the artist? How would you direct them to support you and help you make more? Because to me, like, whenever you buy music or you stream the music, I'd rather people buy the music first and then stream it. It's like an investment and basically a battery to say, hey, go make more, please make more, we love what you're doing. Like, it's like a good type of message when somebody buys your music. Like, how would you say you would want listeners to support your music?
That's a really good question. Honestly, I would say, you know, just keep listening, like listening every now and then, because I know a lot of artists that they start slowing down, or they just stop because no one's listening. And I think just seeing that, even like if it's a small amount of people listening, that like can for sure keep people's drives going. For me personally, I like, as much as I love all the listeners and stuff, I don't think that'll like determine whether I keep releasing music or not. Like, I just love making beats, and every time I make a project, I see room for improvement, and I'm like, road mapping the next one. But definitely, I think listening for sure would be the number one thing.
So you would do this even if like take money out of it. Would you do this for free?
Yeah, definitely. If I had 5 monthly listeners, or it was just me and my brother listening to my beats or something like that, I for sure would keep doing beats.
Yeah, man, that's what we need, man. Like, it's just a pure love of just creating and making music, man. That's what we need, instead of like, I gotta get this money, like, which I understand, like, everybody needs to get paid because that's how we live on this plane, on this earth plane. But man, like, if everybody put their heart and soul into their music and just, create it and then let it go, instead of hoarding beats. And I'm gonna say this every episode: beat makers, stop hoarding beats, yo. Make the music, put it in a project, let it go, man. Let the world hear it, yo. For real, man. Yeah, man. Yo, that's a dope way to think about it, man. So y'all heard it from Tawnbei right now, man. Keep supporting it, man. Listen to it. Stream it. Even send them a message to be like, yo, this album is amazing, man. This track is amazing. Like that, you never know how far that simple, small thing can go, man, in somebody's day or in life, yo. So, man. Okay, so last 2 questions before we round it out, my guy. Like, this is amazing interview. I gotta ask this though. What's one thing you wish you knew before you started your own music and art creation journey?
Oh, I got one that applies to both. Okay. And that's to never delete anything, because that's a big thing that, like, I used to have a bad habit of anything that I thought was like, it was okay or it wasn't good, I would just delete it. And then here I am years later, like, man, if only I could revisit that idea, if I could change some things, because, over time, your perception changes. What you thought was bad might actually start sounding like really good now. And that applies to both, like, artwork and music. And, if you don't delete stuff, then there's always room for improvement. Yeah, just like, what are my mistakes? So it's just, delete the FL file, delete the sample. I'm deleting sounds out the drum kits that I don't use. And then you open up the project and, like, everything's missing. Or you have, like, a little snippet of the beat, but you have no project, so you can't remake it or anything like that. So definitely, to any beat makers, any artists, just make like a nah folder or something, and just keep it like, like a recycle bin.
You said nah folder?
Not a recycle bin. Yeah, that's what I have. A nah folder, and I just like put a whole bunch of stuff in there.
Nice. Yo, y'all heard it, yo. Never delete anything, man, because you can always come back and revisit it, and whatever you learned through the journey, you can actually put it towards that beat that may have not been the best and make it into a banger, man, or slapper, man. You just never know, man. So yeah, man. Yo, that's a good one. That is a good jewel, man. You just dropped on everybody, yo. So last question. What should the internets look out for from Tawnbei in the rest of 2022, and then the start of 2023? And how can the internets tap into you and your music as well?
So for the rest of this year, I'm not saying it for sure, but I got a collab album that I'm probably going to be working on, and it might release this year, maybe around December, or maybe like around early next year. And then this new SP, I'm already like on that path, another album. So it's like, that one is like, that album that I do, like a solo album, would be like chopping drum breaks and like, getting that sound. It's kind of similar to my Paradise album, and as far as like contacting or just being up to date with everything I do, I have an Instagram. That's the only form of social media I use. That's TAWNBEI_. There, like, that's where you'll find everything, whether it's art or music. I post every now and then.
Yo, definitely check out Tawnbei's website, where he's kind of like showcases his character design and everything like that. And then also go ahead and support again on the DSPs. Yo, man, you can't go wrong, yo. So I always want to allow my guests to say like any final thoughts for either the beat makers or the people, the audience that may be listening, as kind of like the last words. Anything you want to say to the audience right now? Yeah.
Definitely check out Chill Select. If you're a beat maker, you could come join the Discord. There's a lot of dope producers there. There's a lot of people that help you on your musical journey and whatnot. It's kind of hard to contact people, so you gotta like DM them. The server is a little busy. And check out the like releases from Chill Select, because like I said, it's a collective, it's a label. We got many projects from various artists, various styles. You can't go wrong with tuning into Chill Select.
Got you, man. Yo, are we going to get anything from Tribe of No Signs? Maybe not this year, but maybe next year, possibly.
Possibly. We'll see. We'll see what the homie's up to.
Bet, man. Yo, so, man, I just want to say, like, your music is definitely inspirational, man. Just feel good music. The vibes that you put into it. I love watching your videos on IG as well. Like whoever's like, are you doing your camera work as well? Because just from the black fade in and then you start like playing your music out, like that's yo, it's just everything. It seems like everything you're doing is a feeling, man. It just feels good, my guy. So yeah, man, everybody tap into Tawnbei. I'm gonna put all the links to the description in the description of the show. Yo, it was a pleasure and an honor having you on, man. This won't be the last time that we connect. And I wish you much love and success and peace in the rest of this year and into next year, my guy.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it for having me on the show.
Yeah, man. So I definitely want to thank Tawnbei for allowing me to, kind of pick his brain for a little bit. It was an honor having you on the show. Everybody, if you made it to this point, man, make sure you check the links in the description of the show. go ahead and support the show, but more importantly, share this on social media. Check out Tawnbei's discography on Spotify and all the other DSPs. He's got a lot of beat tapes on SoundCloud as well. So and also check out Chill Select, man. Chill Select's been out doing their thing for a while, so go ahead and show some love that way. If you got a beat maker that you know is doing their thing, man, and they can be reached on social medias or by email, and let me know. I'll do the research. I'll just check them out, and yeah, man, I hope everybody's counting their blessings and not their problems. NBA season's about to kick off. It's preseason right now. We think we got like maybe 13 days to the actual start of the season, and then football seasons, I think we in week 5 or 6 right now. So Thursday night football been sucking, but anyway, yeah, man, have an amazing weekend, have an amazing week, and make sure you count your blessings, not your problems. Take care of your chickens, and I will see y'all next week on another episode of the Rec Show Podcast. Peace and love, yo. Bye, bye, bye.